Hello third year students, we are starting with a new practical and the heading of the practical is immobilization of yeast cells by entrapment method. So first of all we will try to understand what is immobilization. Immobilization is the technique in which cells or enzymes are entrapped or fixed to one particular place and they will be restricted to move from one place to another. That is called immobilization. Immobilization can be done by various methods, by using different medium or by different matrix. Okay. Now here we are going to immobilize yeast cells. Yeast cells are bigger in the size, they are readily available in the market in the form of the powder, or we can also activate the culture of yeast very nicely by using a particular media, adding some carbohydrate. So that is why we have selected yeast cells for immobilization method. Okay, here we are going for entrapment method. Now before we go for entrapment method, we will try to see that why this immobilization of cell is preferred sometimes than the enzymes. Okay. So now there are several reasons why we do this method on cells and not on enzymes. So first of all, the thing is that when extraction of enzyme is very difficult. You know that how enzyme can be purified, there are so many different steps and they all involve chemical process, and it is really very tedious and very difficult to find out the purified enzyme. And then after getting purified enzyme, that is not sure that whether they will be stable or not. So that instability is also a question. Okay. So these two things happens, and in that case we use cells for immobilization. Other reasons for immobilization are when the extraction is very costly. You know that in purifying enzymes you require fine chemicals and they are very costly, and that is why extraction will also be very costly. Other thing is there are certain reactions in which purified enzymes are not required. So when there is no pure enzyme requirement, at that time also we go for immobilization of cells. Then other thing is there may be some enzymes which will interfere with the enzymatic reaction in which we are interested. So in that case, what is to be done? Interfering enzymes are either inactivated or they are removed. Either they are inactivated or they are removed, and by that way we can use very nicely the cells instead of the purified enzymes. Sometimes what happens that there is a cascade of reaction. Sometimes the end product will be found at the end of so many different enzymatic reactions. In that case also we require so many different enzymes, and at that time we require intact cell in which all the enzymes are there and they are working in the series. So at that time also we require whole entire cells of yeast. So we will write like this, that when series of enzymatic reactions are required. Okay. So in that case also we go for whole cell immobilization. Now we will see that what are the advantages of doing this techniques. The advantages of this technique: the product purification or separation of the product is very easy. Separation of product is very easy. Okay. So this is very first advantage. Another advantage is you can reuse the cells again and again for so many different times whenever we require particular enzymatic reaction. Moreover, it gives us high volume of the cells which are active and doing particular reaction. That is called high volumetric productivity. That is called high volumetric productivity. So this is also very important criteria that within a defined space we have more number of cells and we can have more number of enzyme molecules and we can have a large amount of the enzymatic reactions carried out by them. Other thing is we can also have control over the process. That is called improved process control. This will happen when the cells are fixed at one particular place. Okay, so very nicely the process can be monitored and controlled. And other thing is very important is that cells will be less sensitive to contamination compared to purified enzymes. Okay, so this is very important criteria that why cells are preferred than the enzymes, because enzymes may be very sensitive towards contamination. Okay, and contamination, you know, every now and then will come whenever we start any enzymatic process. Okay, so these all are the advantages of using whole cells for a mobilization process. Now we will actually see that which are the methods can be used for immobilization of whole yeast cells. There are usually three methods which are preferred for immobilization of yeast cells. Very first is carrier binding. Second is cross-linking. And third is entrapment. Third is entrapment. And we are going to carry out this particular method for yeast cells. Okay. Now we will see that how we are going to carry out this method. Okay. Now, first of all, we will see that which are the material used for entrapment method. Very first we use is sodium alginate. This alginate is the material, it is a gel-like material which is available from two different sources of the sea, either seaweed or the algae. Okay, usually they are brown in color. So from these two sources we can have sodium alginate. So sodium alginate is available in the powder form in the market. So that is to be used, and then after another chemical we use is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride. So we have about these two chemicals we are going to suspend the yeast cells. Now how can it will be done? Very firstly we will see the reaction sodium alginate plus calcium chloride. Sodium alginate plus calcium chloride, it will give you calcium alginate. It will give you calcium alginate and sodium chloride. Okay. We are interested in this particular material. Why? Because it will be in the form of the bead, and inside this beads our yeast cell will get entrapped. Okay. So now we will see how we are going for this particular method. We will write down now the protocol for doing the entrapment. solution of sodium arginate is prepared, and that will be 2%. 2% sodium arginate is taken and it is prepared using distilled water by constant stirring. Constant stirring. So there should not be any air bubble, otherwise air bubbles will interfere in the formation of the beads. So constant stirring is given to this particular preparation, and it is prepared before 6 to 8 hours, okay, of the use. Then after we can use the sodium arginate. And other thing is 4% calcium chloride. So with the help of distilled water we can prepare this particular solution very easily. Now we will start the method. First of all, we will take a beaker, and in this beaker we will fill calcium chloride, and roughly we take 50 ml of calcium chloride. Okay. Now we will take sodium arginate. Sodium arginate will be taken in quantity of 50 ml. It is mixed with 12.5 gram of yeast cell. If it is dry powder, and if it is you can say so suspension, then also you can have 12.5 ml of the yeast cell. Now this thing is mixed in another container, okay, in here somewhere. In some another container we have prepared this mixture, or you can use the tube also. In a very bigger tube also you can have this mixture, okay. So in short, we have mixed, suppose this is a bigger tube, and in this we have prepared the sodium arginate and yeast, okay. Here we have sodium arginate already mixed with the yeast cells. Now with the help of 1 ml pipette, we will take now 1 ml pipette. We will fill this pipette, okay, up to 0, and then after gradually we will keep this pipette in the center part of this beaker, and gradually drop wise we will add this sodium arginate solution, okay, very gradually. And what will happen? Now what will happen? Here drops will fall down and they will be in the formation of insoluble beads like this. They will be spherical in shape and dirty white color in the appearance, and they will be floating on the this particular calcium chloride solution. Okay, you know that now it will be calcium arginate. Okay, as soon as you enter, as soon as sodium arginate will enter inside, there will be reaction take place. Okay, in between these two chemicals, and there will be formation of calcium arginate. And you know that these cells are also there with sodium arginate, so it will get entrapped in that particular bead. Okay. So now these type of beads will be formed, and in each bead there will be so many different yeast cells. Okay, means there will be uncountable yeast cells will be entrapped very nicely. Now after this particular thing, we will allow these beads to stand for some time. Okay, these beads will be allowed to stand for 30 minutes. Okay, and this process is called gelatination. Gelatination. Now after gelatination has been done, we will prepare a sugar broth. Usually we go for glucose broth or sucrose broth. Okay. First of all, this sugar broth is prepared, then it is sterilized, and then after these beads will be washed, filtered from the rest of the material, liquid material, and then after it will be, all the beads will be added in the sugar broth. Okay, so that we will write like this. These beads will then after be filtered out. Okay, we will take a flask, and in that flask we will keep the funnel, and also it is having filter paper. The filter paper will be here layered on this, and then after this beads will be kept here. Okay, in this way, and rest of the material will fall down here. If you don't want to filter it out, then just remove the water part. That can also be done with the help of pipette and draining the material in your basin. Okay. Now after these beads collected, now we will have a sugar broth. Either it will be in the flask or in the test tube. It all depends on you. This is our sugar broth, which will be purple in color because we have added indicator dye, that is bromocresol purple. Okay, this is purple colored glucose broth or sucrose broth. Now why we take this media? Just to check that whether our immobilized yeast cells are active or not, whether they have particular invertase enzyme or not, whether they are able to utilize this sugar or not, or whether they are able to produce certain acid or not, and whether they are able to change the color of the indicator dye from purple to yellow or not. Okay, so all these confirmations will be given to us on the next day. Now after adding all the beads here aseptically in between two burners, okay, this flask will be then after kept for incubation at 37 degrees centigrade temperature for 24 hours. Now after 24 hours you will come to know that this purple color of the media has changed from purple to yellow, and this is considered as positive reset, means the yeasts are active. So there is no problem with the yeast cells when you have immobilized it, and immobilization is successful. Okay, so this is the way how we go for immobilization. This is very interesting practical, and here okay, instead of using yeast cells you can also use certain dye solutions, and you can also find very beautifully colored beads too. Okay, so this is about immobilization of yeast cells by entrapment method. Thank you very much.